Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, where last time we were able to defend against an attack by the Dark Fog, which I'm apparently struggling to find at the moment. Our orbits just narrowly passed each other, and I thought that maybe I'd be able to start recording when the missiles started firing, but the missiles did not, in fact, start firing. Which I find odd, given the fact that the tooltip for the missile says range of space defense 4,200 meters, although the Dark Fog came within 2,000 meters of me, and that did not activate at all. So I'm a little unsure as of what the heck happened there. And yeah, so here we are. Moving into what we're going to try to do today, I alluded to it a little bit in the last episode, but we are very, very quickly running out of iron as well as copper on this planet, so I would very much enjoy upgrading that. I also put these into place so that we would be able to have some more efficient graphene recipes that do not require oil through the use of, where are they? Orbital collectors. Orbital collectors are very, very nice, but they are also very, very expensive. And because of the fact that I added all of those chargers into our array here, we are not at 100% demand at all times, given how different research and things go. As soon as I turn research on, it causes problems. So we have two main orders of business today. A, fix the power grid. B, import iron from another planet. Iron, and I already have these guys set up here for that exact purpose. Iron and magnets are going to be coming in from here because they are extremely hungry boys, so they get their own dedicated one. And then steel, copper, and copper magnets, aka magnetic coils, are in their own because they are a little less of hungry boys. And then order of business for the actual power supply, I want to use mini fusion power plants to have deuterium fuel and provide yet another demand for our hydrogen processing, which is a huge deal to me. However, in order to do that, we need to make carbon nanotubes, and I have not scouted a place to make carbon nanotubes, but I think that right here next to our science will probably be a pretty good spot for it. Assuming it's not on a divide. Of course it's on a divide. Why would it not be on a divide? Well, the good news is that these guys are made in a chemical plant, and they require graphene and titanium at a rate of a decent amount. More graphene than titanium, of course. That makes perfect sense. So I guess instead we can do it up here and just place this guy right down here. And then essentially we are going to copy our plastic build. We're going to have 2 bits of input on either side like so. And this is another one that I am going to make use of proliferation because I actually have the ability to put proliferation on things in mass now. I think that is going to be extremely valuable until we get the upgraded resource for this, which is the spinoform crystals. Although those are way later game and also very, very precious materials. So we're not going to worry about that just quite yet. Graphene, titanium, output of carbon nanotubes, and then of course we also want our proliferator Mark II as a demand. Perfect. Now, literally just the exact same thing that you guys have seen so many times. We're going to have one of these going in here, one going in there, one going in there, yada, 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 yada. I'm going to do it. I'll be back. And there we have it. All done, set, and dealt with. We can go on ahead and establish demands for all of our other items, including the titanium, which is going to come from here, and then our graphene from elsewhere, and that is all going to get nice and well proliferated and put into the system, which I'm quite happy about. I think actually I need to upgrade both of these lines. Yeah, there we go. That should do it, and here comes the titanium. Wow, that's a lot of logistics drones. Apparently our grid's still doing fine. It's because I'm not researching anything. There's not really anything to research. And there we have our carbon nanotube. Our carbon nanotubes, we've got this setup can handle 12 per second, but I don't actually think I have enough graphene in order to sustain that. Because I want to say that this is... What is this? What's the ratio here? It is 2 every 3 seconds. So 2 every 3 seconds multiplied by 4 times 4. Yeah, I've got not enough to support this in its entirety. So I'm gonna go on ahead and just stamp down another one of our graphenes here, I think is probably the call. Oops, not save blueprint. Sorry, use now. Then I can just put it here to match. That'll be great. And then I'm willing to bet that we do not have enough sulfuric acid to sustain this, because I don't think we even had enough sulfuric acid to sustain the first one. Looks like our stone input isn't even enough to sustain what we've got here, so that's a problem. Looks like our inserters aren't even enough to keep up with it, so let me... Uh-oh. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I just upgraded everything. Oops, that was not good. Let me just go over the whole thing again with that. Now, if we take off facilities, take off belts, now it's just inserters that we're upgrading. Is exactly what we want it to be. Take off the grid and upgrade the output inserters. Oh, hey, you don't even have an output inserter. What the heck? What's up with that? Also, apparently that's still not enough stone input? Oh, I see what's happened. Okay, yeah, no, that should... Good. Should assuming monster. That's alright, that's fine. I'm allowed to summon the should assuming monster every now and again. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna need more sulfuric acid, which means we're gonna need more water, which means we're gonna need more of a lot of other things. That oil node is actually very, very rich. I'd rather not bury it under the ground to get more sulfuric acid production. I could set up more sulfuric acid production. I don't know, somewhere. I'll figure it out. But for right now, I think this will be a buffer that's just fine. Oh, I definitely don't have enough sulfuric acid to sustain this. Not a chance. Looks like I also do not have enough energetic graphite to sustain this, question mark? This is where the factory game Hydra really starts to show its face. Because, yes, I am correct. I do not have enough energetic graphite production to sustain these kinds of production. But I don't have the means currently. Oh, wow, this iron deposit is gone. Well, that's where I can put the new coal. Wonderful. The new coal to energetic graphite setup. That's where I can put it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, cool. So that's that satiated, quote-unquote, for now. Now we get to the interesting part of the episode. Oh, wow, this is apparently more than 12 per second. Probably because of the proliferation bonus. Yeah, why not? I'll go on ahead and upgrade that to its belt. Yeah, that'll be great. All right, cool. Now, to get to the interesting part, all we're going to do is place down some fusion reactors and then move on to the next planet and start setting some things up. So I'm going to get prepared for that. I'm going to put down our new power source, which is here. Yeah, look at that. We've got plenty of the guys. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to set this up real quick. I already have a spot for it up here somewhere. I had a spot for it over here. And then we're going to get ready to go to the planet number 1 and start ticking off the Dark Fog Hive there. See you soon. With shield generation begun on our secondary planet expansion here, we have coverage of nearly the entire titanium production zone. I'm fine having some of the edges, so long as we have the majority of the signal towers covered a decent amount. And then, of course, here, all of our actual missile turrets are located, so those are the most important. And then, of course, the planetary logistics station is also extremely important. And then it's going to power buffer itself up, and we will be fine on generation otherwise. Luckily, this entire planet is still supported entirely by wind power infrastructure, and I didn't have to change a darn thing about that as I went. I thought I would have to place down some ray receivers, which I expanded the network of here, just so that we would be able to actually enjoy more power production on the main planet prior to getting our upgrades here. So we will be able to use that on this planet. Now, it looks, as it stands at the moment... Ooh, horizontal rotation. I completely forgot about the horizontal rotation piece of things here. Which means that our poles are actually going to be at the equator. But it looks like we are going to slam into a part of the planet that is safe, which is actually the pole. Now, this pole is only going to have power sometimes. I don't think that'll be a huge issue overall, because as we see here, as it's rotating, revolving around the sun, you can see the shadow ever so slowly crossing the threshold here as we continue along in our orbit. But that's okay. I don't think that's going to be that big of a problem. We can also head down here as far toward the equator as possible. And it looks like... Oh yeah, no, we don't run into any of the dark fog for a while. So let's think about what exactly we're doing on this planet. There's not a ton of coal. Most of the coal in the system is on our home planet, which is perfect. There is a ton of titanium. There's not a ton of silica, but we're here for the iron and the copper. So the main objectives here are going to be iron and copper processing related, aka smelting iron into steel, smelting iron into iron, smelting copper into copper, smelting iron into magnets, maybe making some copper magnets along the way as well. That's kind of our main goal, and we brought along some friends, aka missile turrets, to help us in our endeavor, as well as brought along some regular turrets so that we can have them as well. Now, it looks like there's a giant cluster of copper, iron, 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 titanium, 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 copper, copper. But that's starting to get a little bit too close to this base here. Actually, like it's probably the newest base. It has to be as developed and nearly as many guys kind of surrounding it as there are on the... I can't say which one is the first base, though. I have no idea. There's a ton of titanium and copper that's getting a little too close. That's what we were saying. I screwed up my view. There we go. The iron is all good right here. So I think our main objective is gonna be to cut some kind of a wall of turrets along here, up the latitude, and then back. And then back again. Down a little bit. Kind of moving toward here, toward the pole. And then back again. Or around the pole, maybe. And then down. And then down this way. I think is probably going to be our best resources. Because that's going to give us the titanium and the copper here to make titanium ammunition for the belt that goes around the entirety of the wall. And then that also gives us access to a ton of iron, which is the main reason why we're here, and some copper. And then maybe we can even extend it down to the other pole here and have even more of this copper and iron. We can have our main copper production hub over here, and then our main iron production hub kind of all right here. So with that in mind, I guess first order of business, it's the solar generator, 35, wind energy, 70. At the end of the day isn't the best, but it's a really easy way to have a ton of power infrastructure, really simply. I think honestly just right here we're on the 0 degree west latitude, or longitude rather, which is nice. And then I can just have this as our initial sort of start. Does that give us threat? It does start to give us threat. So I'm gonna have to move very quickly here in order to make sure that this all gets set up in time. And I'm almost certain that it will. I think that's probably far enough away to not piss them off. And then I think we can take it all the way to this upper latitude here. And then start pulling back a couple grid spaces worth so that we avoid pissing them off. And then start going up the latitude again here. And then start going back the longitudes again. Probably here will be fine. Yeah, here. Here's a really good place to cut it. This is a great place to be cutting this. Just like this. And then, like I mentioned about the titanium and the copper. Oh, that's perfect, too. I can just come right up here. Straight up this longitude. All the way up until the iron. And a little bit farther into the pole here. Yeah, so that I can grab all that juicy iron. Then come back down the latitude here. Oh, oh, we're claiming a lot of territory. This is great. All right, I'm going to continue this process. We're going to go the whole way down. We're going to grab this iron as well, and then we're going to cut across. And we're even going to get this titanium as well. I think would be nice to have this one, the 1.2 mil. And then eventually I'll figure out a way to cut it back this way across somehow like this. And then we can have our main copper processing here, main iron processing here, some titanium processing here, and have great amounts of supply. This is going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to be back. I'll show off the wall. Next time, we'll get into the production. See you soon. So the wall is not finished, but we have a problem. And that problem takes the form of, here comes the dark fog. I don't know exactly which of the bases is launching an assault. Of course, it's on one of the sides that I do not have defended. They're only sending... Oh, uh-oh. Where's that? Ooh. Those guys are big and strong. Love to see it. Love to see it. This is right next to the darn wall, but it's on the wrong side of the wall. Okay, these guys actually got taken care of. Good. Very good. Very good. Anything else? Anything else that I can take out? It looks like there's... Oh, no. No. Okay, good. We're good for now. Good for now. There are going to be more attacks coming in very soon, so I have to be wary and be vigilant, but we are good for now. Keyword for now. And we can continue to expand our wall and then eventually set up our signal towers so that we can actually have missile turret coverage of the entirety of the place, which will be super nice. And in comes more dark fog units. What, 8 units incoming? That's not awful. Looks like they're gonna hit right here too, which is nice. Go on ahead and get them taken down. These guys taken down. Nice, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Ooh, and we've got another one at 93% threat somewhere that's about to be coming in. And more and more and more and more and more. We're almost there though. We are almost there. We've got just a few more turrets to place. And I think then we still have to go the entirety of the way back around to get to the end. I think I'm honestly probably going to end up running out of belts, which will be an interesting to have today. Let's put an intermediate one right there as well to kind of help out. Collide with object. I see. Oh gosh, this is super stressful, but this is what I get. This is what I get. Can I see where they're coming from? Where are they coming from? Oh, apparently they're coming from right here. Very nice, thank you. These guys are great, man. These tier 3 ground or tier 3 personal units are amazing. Yeah, these guys, the attack drones, these guys are amazing, man. Great. Anyway, I've got a little bit of a reprieve, and I think we kind of get the gist of what's happening here. So I'm going to go show you the finished wall. And we are done with our wall. And turn off resources. Actually, I probably just could have done this. We've got ray receivers here on the equator. We are in an unfortunate period of the orbit going around the sun, which takes this to be more of an equator than it does a pole, which, because of the horizontal rotation, this is often going to actually pole rather than anything else, which will be super duper nice. I also supplemented our power system with geothermal generators, which have obviously been upgraded in recent updates because it is a generation capacity of 400. Now, I don't know how much of that is the ray receivers themselves, but I'm willing to bet that that is majorly the, actually, it's gotta be almost entirely the magma generation, the geothermal generators. So they have received a huge buff in the previous updates, I find amazing. We have our very large array here of missile turrets and signal towers covering the entirety of the wall, and next time we can actually begin working on the production that is going to go in this zone. Magnets, copper, iron, and of course as well, we're going to have steel. probably going to be our first, since that will take the steel demand off of our home planet and help out a lot. I'm going to have to go back to our home planet and get a bunch of belts, but that is perfectly a-okay. We have established ourselves here on our very, very new, very, very hostile world. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.